Hi, my name is Laura Heffron, and this is my final video presentation for Early Literacy 2. So first I'll talk about what an IRI is. It's an individually administered survey designed to help teachers determine a student's reading instructional needs. It helps teachers to assess students' strengths with regards to word recognition, word meaning, reading strategies, and comprehension. So I'll give you a little bit of background on the student I worked with, who I'll refer to as EL. She's a 7-year-old little girl who lives in New York City. She has a younger sister. Her father and mother live with her. They both have stable jobs. Her mother reported that when she's reading alone, she gets very frustrated, so the parents will take over. So after doing the IRI, I decided that her needs were to increase her fluency when reading and increase her silent reading comprehension. So the intervention tools that I came up with were for her to work on retelling, use of flashcard drills, and repeated readings. So the purpose of retelling is for her to increase her opportunities for silent reading by using various methods to retell the passage that was just read. Flashcard drills will offer her an opportunity to increase her accuracy and fluency with individual word reading. And repeated readings will offer the child an opportunity to complete oral and silent readings that will help her to improve her reading accuracy, speed, and with expression. So her silent reading comprehension showed in the results that she didn't quite understand as much when I would ask her questions after the silent reading. She did much better with the oral portion. So due to her difficulty with silent reading, retelling reinforces story structure and the language and imagery that is used in text, and this provides more information about a reader's understanding. So taking this into consideration, the first retelling activity for EL would be independent in order to allow her to make mistakes without feeling on the spot or having any sort of anxieties, but also it will build up her confidence level with regards to reading. The second goal would be to increase her fluency while reading. So one instructional method is flashcard drills. So flashcards have proven to be useful in order to increase sight word recognition. The goal of flashcards is to provide the student with words they recognize and they can then store in a word bank in their brain. So flashcard drills, repeated readings, those are great intervention tools for increasing fluency. Repeated readings can help to target and sharpen EL's skill in reading accurately, increasing her speed and with expression. When students are given an opportunity to engage in repeated readings and they're then provided with the tools to self-correct, they often gain their fluency, and comprehension skills come along with that as well. So in order to assess, I laid out some story retelling, continual check-ins with regards to lesson planning to monitor student progress, flashcard drill recording sheet, and repeated readings. So in order to increase her silent reading comprehension skills, story retelling will also be used to measure her accuracy in answering reading comprehension questions. So providing silent reading comprehension passages followed by follow-up questions at regular intervals would help to have EL successfully retell a story through different types of platforms, through drawing, group work, verbally independent. So after a week of doing this kind of work, I would like to check in and document the amount of questions answered correctly and incorrectly. While there are many reading packet assessments tools that are available, I found that the retelling intervention pack, Read and Retell, provides a great amount of passages and questions that are directly correlated to the Common Core Reading Literature Standard 2. So also it's important to remember that when you're working with a target student, we must continually assess their level of progress. So revisiting the intervention plan if you know the student is observed not quite understanding, just assessing that the student is either progressing or not progressing, we have to adjust our lesson plans, and if progress is made, you have to change your lessons to further challenge the student. When dealing with fluency, flashcard drills are very helpful because this is increasing, as I said earlier, their sight word bank. So in order to assess when using the flashcard drills, you could utilize a chart that can monitor and record the number correct, the number incorrect, and the speed at which it takes the student to get through the cards. So with practice, the student should improve with their level of speed and accuracy. And you could do this weekly. So like at the end of the week, the teacher should examine the results and compare them to the initial set of cards that the student was first introduced to at the beginning of the week. And it's very important to make sure that these cards are based on the appropriate level and grade for their vocabulary. The last tool that I would like to talk about is repeated reading. So the goal of this intervention is to increase speed, accuracy, and expression. The assessment tool being used will assess the target student's reading full passages and then recording any mistakes in time, the time in which it takes for the student to complete the activity. So through this, the teacher is able to examine the student reading a whole complete passage and not just individual words. So the teacher, I would have EL read a passage and time how long it takes her to complete the task. So I would administer a 1-minute reading challenge that is timed, and when she begins reading, as soon as she begins reading the first word of the passage. So this, after a minute, you would say stop and immediately circle the last word that was read. So in order to preserve self-confidence within the student, I feel it's really critical to not correct any mistakes while they are reading, so they can just go through the passage in an organic way. And yeah, the goal is just to increase accuracy and words read within 1 minute. So every 2 weeks you could check in and do this and see the repeated readings to see how much they've progressed or if they're staying about the same. And yeah, this should continue until the student has reached the desired reading level. And that's it. And here are my references. And thank you.